ChatGPT said. Under the shattered sky, where thunder echoed like the heartbeat of a dying god, a man lay on the cold earth, broken, forgotten, left to vanish as if he had never existed. His armor, once gleaming with glory, was now cracked and scorched. His sword lay beside him in pieces, like the remnants of his past. The world believed his fall was final. The world believed his silence meant defeat. But in the heart of that silence, something stirred, something darker, louder, greater than any roar ever heard. He opened his eyes. Pain surged through his body like molten steel, but he did not scream. The agony only reminded him that he still lived. And if he lived, he could rise. He pushed himself from the blood-soaked ground, his breath trembling. Memories flooded his mind, faces of those who betrayed him, the cheers of his enemies as he fell, the thrones that turned their backs on him once his power was gone. Every memory struck him like a blade, but with each strike, his resolve hardened. He once fought for honor. He once fought for peace. But honor had abandoned him. Peace had betrayed him. Now, he would fight for something far greater, his rise. His destiny. Dark clouds gathered above as if answering his awakening. Lightning tore across the sky, illuminating the ruins of the battlefield, where corpses lay silent. Yet in that stillness, the air trembled. The earth shifted beneath his feet, as though the world itself recognized the return of something it had long feared. He reached for the broken hilt of his sword. The moment his hand touched it, shadows spiraled upward, wrapping around the shattered blade. Darkness fused with steel, forging it anew, not as a weapon of light, but as a weapon of will, of vengeance, of destiny. The sword pulsed with power, his power, born from agony and rebirth. He stood tall. For the first time, he felt no weight of doubt, no hesitation. Pain had purified him. Betrayal had awakened him. Defeat had forged him. He took a step. The ground cracked. Not far from the battlefield, a city thrived, its people laughing, dancing, celebrating the fall of the man they once called savior. They lit fires in the streets, chanting the name of their new king, a man who gained power not through strength, but through deceit. They believed the darkness was gone. They believed they were safe. But safety is the greatest illusion of the weak. As he walked, the air around him shifted. Birds fell silent. Trees bent away as though in fear. Beasts of the wild lowered themselves to the earth, not in terror, but in submission. They could feel it. Something ancient had risen. A force not bound by mortality. Oh, well, that refused to die. He climbed the ruined path toward the mountains, where the wind howled like spirits crying out for justice. Every step echoed with purpose. Every breath carried the promise of reckoning. Above him, the storm roared. Within him, the storm was born. He reached the edge of a cliff overlooking the golden kingdom that had betrayed him. Its towers shone in the distance, symbols of false peace built on his downfall. He did not feel anger. Anger was too small for what he had become. He felt destiny. They believe my pain destroyed me, he whispered to the wind. But pain was the fire that forged me. As he spoke, shadows gathered around him like an army awaiting command. From every corner of the land, forgotten warriors rose from graves, their eyes burning with dark flame. Creatures of the abyss emerged from the earth, not to devour, but to kneel. The sky itself darkened, not with night, but with the birth of a new power. He lifted his reforged sword. In that moment, the wind stilled. The world held its breath. For those who tried to bury me, he said, his voice echoing across the heavens, you have not witnessed my end. He pointed his sword toward the kingdom. You have witnessed my beginning. The shadows roared, not with sound, but with trembling force that shook the mountains. The earth split. Flames of black fire erupted around him. And he walked forward. He was no longer a fallen king. He was the storm returning to claim the sky. He was the darkness that taught the light to fear. He was not the end. He was the awakening. And the world would soon understand. What rises from pain cannot be destroyed. The storm had begun with a whisper, but now it roared across the sky like a living beast unleashed from the depths of creation. As the Dark King descended from the mountains, the land transformed beneath his steps. Grass wilted into ash, rivers of light dimmed into silent black streams, and the ancient winds themselves bent in reverence. The shadows did not follow him, they answered him. They were no longer mere darkness. They were his will, his breath, his army. He did not look back at the mountain that birthed his rebirth. There was nothing left for him behind, only destiny ahead. Far below, the kingdom bustled with joy, blind to the coming doom. Lanterns of gold lined the streets. Children laughed, merchants bartered, nobles raised goblets of wine in celebration of the eternal peace, a peace built on betrayal. They had not merely forgotten him, they had replaced him, erasing his name from their histories, calling him tyrant, monster, an echo of darkness best left buried in time. But legends do not die when forgotten. They awaken when denied. As he approached the valley leading into the kingdom's heart, the sky split open. A bolt of black lightning struck the earth before him, and from the scorched ground emerged figures cloaked in shadow, fallen warriors once loyal to his reign. They rose silently, their armor etched with cracks of crimson flame, eyes glowing with purpose renewed. None spoke. None needed to. His presence was command enough. The gates of the valley were guarded by legions sworn to the false king. They stood tall behind stone barricades, their armor radiant, their banners emblazoned with sigils of light. Their captain, a man who once knelt before the true king, lifted his spear and called out, voice shaking despite his pride. Halt! By decree of the Holy Order, no one may pass these lands without blessing or seal. The Dark King did not slow. With each step, the air thickened. Horses collapsed to their knees. Torches dimmed to dying embers. The captain gripped his spear tighter, his heartbeat echoing in his ears like a death knell. I said halt. Still, he came forward. Then, the shadows struck. Not with rage, but with purpose. They slid across the earth like ribbons of silent night, wrapping around the barricades. Stone turned to dust. Metal crumbled to powder. Warriors who once prided themselves on courage sank to their knees, not from fear of death, but from a truth their souls could not deny. They were standing in the presence of something beyond mortal comprehension. The Dark King passed through them as if they were air. Not a single blade rose against him. Not a single arrow was loosed. Those who were loyal to lies felt their will drain away. Those who had once believed in him felt something deeper than memory stir within their hearts. The storm marched forward. Within the city, the false king stood atop his balcony, chalice in hand, making a speech to the cheering masses below. My people, he declared, darkness is gone forever. The age of suffering is behind us. We have. His voice faltered. A tremor rolled through the city, shaking the ground, rattling every window, silencing every voice. The crowd turned as one toward the horizon. There, at the edge of the kingdom, a wall of swirling black fire rose into the sky like the birth of a second sun, a dark sun, void of mercy. At its heart walked the figure they had erased from their histories. His presence alone made the air shudder. Every soul felt it, deep in their marrow, a terror beyond imagination, yet laced with awe. The false king dropped his chalice. No, he whispered, trembling. He is dead. He was defeated. This is impossible. But truth does not bow to belief. Truth is eternal. The Dark King raised his sword, and without a word, every bell in the city tower shattered. Flames of shadow erupted across the streets, not to destroy, but to cleanse. Those who had betrayed him fell to the ground, clutching their chests as their lives were stripped away. Those who had remained silent in his fall now faced judgment, not of vengeance, but of destiny. He stepped into the city. People scattered like leaves in a hurricane, but none escaped the pull of his presence. The sky darkened above him, not with cloud, but with pure will, bending reality around its rightful sovereign. At the gates of the royal palace, an army of elite guards stood ready. Their captain, highest knight of the realm, knelt down, sword trembling in his hand. My king, he whispered, eyes filled not with fear, but with reverence. "Forgive us. We were lost." The Dark King paused. His eyes, burning with silent fire, saw not soldiers nor traitors, only pieces of destiny, waiting to be placed. "The world forgot what it means to kneel in truth," he said, his voice echoing across every soul in the realm. "Now it shall remember." He raised his hand, and the shadows obeyed. They rose like tidal waves, sweeping through every street, every hall, every corner of the kingdom. Not to destroy, but to rebuild. Not to conquer, but to awaken. For he had not returned to reclaim a throne. He had returned to reshape the world. Not as it once was, but as it was always meant to be. The age of false light had ended. The age of the unbroken will had begun. And as the people knelt in awe beneath the stone of his power, one truth echoed through the universe. This was not conquest. This was destiny fulfilled.